Yesterday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem both gave testimony on how this administration has been bypassing the courts to implement policies. Take a look.
What is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to...
Let me stop you, ma'am. Habeas corpus, excuse me, that's incorrect.
President Lincoln used it.
Excuse me. Habeas corpus is the legal principle that requires that the government provide a public reason for detaining and imprisoning people.
There is a division in our government between the federal branch and the judicial branch. No judge in the judicial branch cannot tell me or the president how to conduct foreign policy.
Oh, boy.
Didn't he go to law school this year?
He did.
What is, I mean, are people, how long is my question? How long do you think people are going to be okay with people interpreting
Well, they'll be okay with it as long as it serves their political interest. And by that, I mean, this shouldn't be a right and left thing. This is an American thing. This whole country is based on the foundation. Yet when you talk to someone who is a rabid Second Amendment person, they don't care if there's any nuance to gun responsibility. They are like, don't touch it, it's in the Constitution. But then when something is not aligned with what they want done, they conveniently look past it. So I think people need to realize this should not be a political division. This is a foundational part of what birthed this country.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. And I think what's so...
Tell us what habeas corpus is first.
Well, habeas corpus is in the Constitution.
But exactly
it's Article 1.
Yeah, she just read it.
It's Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2. And it basically gives the government sort of restraints on whether or not they can just take someone, or whether or not they can take someone's civil liberties away, right? And that, it has happened about 4 times, but it happened really during the Civil War because you want to prevent, it can't be suspended unless in cases of rebellion or invasion. And so during the Civil War, they used it to get spies and stuff like that. But the bottom line is Marco Rubio is a lawyer. And I think what's so offensive is his definition of the separation of powers. You know, bottom line is, and I've said it on the show many times, there are 3 branches of government. We don't teach civics enough. One of the branches is executive. That's where the president is. One of them is the judicial branch. That's where the Supreme Court and all the federal courts and all the courts are. And the next one is the legislative branch, which is where Congress is, right? They are co-equal. They all have oversight. It was a systems of checks and balances that the founders brilliantly thought of because they didn't want a king, as you mentioned, Whoopi. They didn't want an executive to be able to not follow the law. Power unchecked. And that's what's happening. So for Marco Rubio to say, the courts can't tell me what to do, every American, as you're saying, Sarah, should be very, very concerned about that because that means that the government, the executive branch, can snatch you off the street too, even if you're an American citizen. They can deport you too.
He's lying,
I see this slightly differently. Kristi Noem may be a puppy killer. She's not dumb. She knows what habeas corpus is. She served in Congress for
she may be a puppy killer.
Literally, the Latin habeas corpus means show me the body. It's your right to appear before a judge once you're detained for a crime. It's basic. It's a basic constitutional concept. Rubio's answer is slightly more nuanced in my viewpoint. He is right that the president is who determines foreign policy, and a court can't simply intervene to say we don't like your foreign policy. When the courts can intervene is when your foreign policy denies people a constitutional right, like due process,
and it's illegal,
which is what the concept is here.
Which he should know.
But I'm very pro courts in this moment. I have found that I feel like the courts have stood up for where they.
Looking at Kristi Noem, they talk about Rubio also. Looking about the court, George was trying to talk about a certain the court senator Hazan was trying to tell them that there is a United States law that which stated that the court can tell what to the court cannot tell the president what to do. But the woman was trying to say that you appeared in front of the court. That's a particular law, that there's a foreign policy that denied. Or in short, we look at Marco Rubio, who is the Secretary of State, and to look at Kristi Noem, which is Homeland Security. According to them, there is this law that the United States president can just decide and revoke your citizenship and put you in jail and deport you. It depends on his choice. It doesn't really matter what you do. You can just get offended and just say, you're going back to your country. And the women in the view, even you see in court, they are arguing that no, this is the United States. It is a lot of people have a lot of freedom. This is a land that was made of variety of different people. If you read at the history of the United States, it's a combination of different. Even Rubio is from Cuban. His parents are from Cuba, but he was born in the land. So it's a combination of many people. Even Donald Trump was not the president of the United States. President Donald Trump, his parents were from Europe. His direct descendants. His father, if I'm not mistaken, President Donald Trump's father was not born here. He came here as a foreigner, or his grandfather, if I'm not mistaken. Generation that they still know, his grandfather, if not a mistake, was not born here. He was born in Europe, and they migrated here. So America is that country that it has a lot of different people that migrated into the land. It's like, as they call that, nobody's land. So that's why you see that it's different from every part of the world, because many ideas, many strengths from different nations, they make it very powerful. That's why they are very powerful. But with the way the present government is going, in my weak standard, that's why they were saying that there's a law that if there's a public reason for detaining prison, there's a public reason for detaining a prisoner. You don't just decide. That's what the woman, Senator Hassan, was trying to say, that you don't just decide and just pick on who to put to jail, who not to put to jail. So you have Rubio who was saying that the government does not have to dictate the law of the United States to the president. So the president can do whatever he likes. Rubio, what do you think? According to the women in the video, they say, no, Rubio, you cannot just come and be saying, which type of, we are not in a dictator like Russia that is just capitalism. It's democracy. So everyone, they even talk about that Obama deported more people than President Donald Trump, but he wasn't loud. He did it legally. But President Donald Trump deported people and illegal. They just catch you here. They just catch you here. They don't even have enough reason. They just send you to your country. They don't even wait for nothing. You just go back to your country. They just, a lot of stuff are happening. So what do you really think about? Did you support Kristi Noem is saying with Rubio? Let me see your own opinion in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and help share my video. God bless you.